Hello girls, I hope you're having a great day. I hope you're staying safe at home. Now to continue with organic chemistry, today I'm going to talk about the different types of organic compounds. Now when we talk about organic compounds, we are actually talking about hydrocarbons and their derivatives. Now you know hydrocarbons are compound which is made up of carbon and hydrogen which come together. Okay, now under hydrocarbons there are three types. First is alkane, where the carbon-carbon atom have a single covalent bond between them. Okay. Next is alkene, where the carbon-carbon atom has at least one double bond between them. And then we have alkynes, where at least one pair of carbon atoms are connected by a triple covalent bond. So if it is a single covalent bond, then it is alkane, A-N-E. Okay, if it is a double covalent bond, then it is alkene, E-N-E. Okay, and if it is a triple covalent bond, then it is Y-N-E. Okay, now when we talk about the derivatives of hydrocarbon, that is, to a hydrocarbon, if OH group is attached, then they are termed as alcohol. If a CHO group is attached, then it is an aldehyde. Please remember a single covalent bond in both these cases. And it is called a ketone if oxygen is attached to one of the carbon by a double bond. Okay, and then it is a carboxylic acid if COOH group is attached by a single covalent bond. And then it is known as ether if oxygen is attached to two different carbon atoms by means of a single bond on either side. And finally we come to halide. Okay, that is fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine is attached again by a single covalent bond to one of the carbon atoms. Okay. Hydrocarbons are subdivided into two main groups, the aliphatic or the open and cyclic or closed chain compounds. The aliphatic or the open chain compounds are further divided into saturated and unsaturated compounds, and unsaturated compounds are further divided into alkenes and alkynes, which we'll be discussing in detail. Now, coming to saturated compounds, the general name given to them is alkane. They have a single covalent bond between all the four carbon atoms. That means it is a saturated hydrocarbon because all the four valencies of carbon are satisfied by a single covalent bond, as you can see here. The general formula is Cn means the number of carbon atoms it contains, H 2n plus 2. We are talking about a hydrocarbon, carbon and hydrogen. Okay. Now when we are talking about this n here, we are talking about the natural number indicating the number of carbon present. Okay. Now since it is a saturated compound, that is all the four valencies of carbon are satisfied by a single covalent bond, so the number of carbon can be 1. So if there is one carbon atom, according to the general formula, we have C1 H 2 into 1 plus 2, so we have CH4. That means if N is 1, the name given to it will be meth. So that means this is methane. Okay. Similarly, if there are two carbon atoms in that hydrocarbon, then according to the general formula, it will be C2H2 into 2 plus 4. That means you will get C2H6. That means the term given to is eth. That means it is C2H6 is ethane. Moving on to, if there are 3 carbon atoms, then according to the general formula, when you work out, you'll get C3H8. So if 3 carbon atoms are there, then the term given to it is prop. So C3H8 is propane. If it is 4, then when you work out, you'll get C4H10. So if the number of carbon atoms is 4, then the term that we use is bute. Okay, so it becomes butane. And after that, moving on to the number of carbon atoms, if it is 5, then it is pent. That means it becomes pentane, ANE, alkane, single covalent bond between all the carbon atoms. If number of carbon is 6, then it becomes hexane. 7, heptane. 8, octane. 9, nonane. 10, decane. Okay, so the first 4 you have to remember: meth, eth, prop and bute. Okay, now coming to unsaturated compound, the general name given to it is alkene. Okay, there is a double bond between 2 carbon atom, and if it is an alkyne, there will be triple bond between 2 carbon atoms. Okay, now coming to alkenes, the general formula is CnH2n. Again, N is the number of carbon atoms. Since we are talking about unsaturated compounds, you know that when we talk about unsaturated compound, between 2 carbon atoms, so there must be 2 carbon atoms present so that a double bond is formed between them. Similarly, in alkenes also, a triple bond is between 2 carbon atoms. So in unsaturated hydrocarbon, there must be 2 carbon atoms. Okay, so we do not start with 1 carbon atom, so we start with 2 carbon atoms. So if the number of carbon atom is 2, okay, now taking the general formula, C2H2 into 2, we get C2H4. So if it is 2, remember the term given is ETH. That is, this is, since it is an alkene, it becomes ethene. Similarly, if it is 3 carbon atoms, when we work out, we get C3H6. So it is propene, since it is an alkene. Okay, double bond between 2 carbon atoms. And if the number of carbon atoms is 4, we get formula C4H8, which is butene, ENE, double covalent bond between a pair of carbon atoms. Similarly, if the number of carbon atoms is 5, then it becomes pentene. 6, hexene. 7, heptene. 8, octene. 9, nonene. 10, decene. Okay. Similarly, alkyne has a triple bond between at least 2 carbon atoms. So that is why they are known as alkynes. The general formula of which is CnH2n minus 2. So if it has 2 carbon atoms, the general formula is CnH2n minus 2. So when you work out, you will get C2H2. So C2H2 is ethine. Similarly, if there are 3 carbon atoms, then it is prop. When you work out, you'll get the formula C3H4. So this is propine. Because of the presence of 3 carbon atom, the term given is prop. And if the number of carbon atom is 4, then you will get C4H6. So this is named as butane. Similarly, if it is 5 carbon atoms, then pentyne, 6 hexyne, 7 heptyne, and 8 octyne. Okay, now coming to the cyclic, or which is also known as closed or ring chain compounds, you know, to form a chain, how many carbon atoms must be there? There must be 3 or more carbon atoms. And they are also known as carbocyclic compounds. So here, if there are 3 carbon atoms with a single covalent bond, then it is known as cyclopropane. If there are 5 carbon atoms, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and with a single covalent bond, then it is named as cyclopentane. And again, if there are 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 carbon atom, and between one pair there is a double bond, then it is known as cyclohexene. Okay, now some hydrocarbon contain at least one benzene ring in their molecules. Now when we talk about the benzene ring, remember that it is a type of ring structure of 6 carbon atoms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 carbon atoms. Okay, having carbon-carbon single bond and carbon-carbon double bonds in alternate manner. So if between these two there is a single covalent bond, between these two, again double, again single, again double, again single, again double. Okay, so this is known as a benzene. Okay, benzene ring, and generally it is also known as benzene. Now most of these compounds have a pleasant smell. They are also known as aromatic compound. Okay, now there are examples. Some examples of this class are phenol, naphthalene. You know, they all have a characteristic sweet smell. So these are few examples.